Hey there, guys. I haven't making much videos recently. The reason is outside I've been planning a lot of stuff outside, like manifesting a lot of things later on. And other thing is there isn't too much to talk about, and if there is, I'm going to talk about much later because, especially when it comes to the Western world, we don't know exactly where things to go. Even if we do know in our hearts, we don't definitely know where it is leading towards or what could be exactly because I don't care if you see in the dirty or if you see on television. Sometimes wrestling can be a crazy world and things change constantly. And I think with this video I'm going to talk about pretty much Peru set. As I'm going to talk about one name that if you saw one of my other videos, I will put it right there in the link in the description box. I was talking about one person called, formerly known now as Ricky Stark, who is now called Ricky Saints. Yes, now Ricky Saints now is in WWE, now performing in the NXT brand. And he's going to be there for as for right now. So that's what we're going to talk about, and what are my thoughts about his debut and how it came off. And so, before we dive right in, let's get in how we got to this point, how quickly it was. So, I made that video about Ricky Starks, AEW, the whole drama thing. I was practically begging them to just cut him loose because you're not using him for the long haul and he isn't going to want to keep working with you guys for the long haul. So it ain't worth it to invest all those time because you'll continue wasting it. So apparently on February the 10th, I believe, um um, there were three guys that were out of contrast. AEW. The three names being as Malachi Black, Miro, and Ricky Starks. So, those were the three guys that were circling around that day that reportedly were gone for AEW. And I was so fucking relieved when I saw Ricky's name because I was like, finally, now hopefully Ray finishes next because yeah, it's obvious he doesn't want to fucking be there also. I also kind of talk about in that Ricky Star Tony Khan drama video. I mentioned a little bit of Ray Fitness. But yeah, so that news dropped that day, and a lot of people rightfully assume he's going to be WWE bound. But little did we know how quickly bound he was because it's literally the day after. I think this might have I didn't even didn't watch as it happened. So I was doing something and I check on S or Twitter, whatever one you call. I watched it on that, and I saw on their Twitter page or S page, Ricky Saints, or at that time there was no name because they ain't other a single drop of his name during that. And I'm going to talk about the name change. So there he is, Ricky, in the performance center and the NXT setting. right out of the gate, people lost their freaking minds. Like, they were chanting his name, and he told them he promised that the revolution, if you guys been asking whether the revolution will be televised, and he said, I'm here, right? And NXT, and he said if NXT needs their superstar, their future, you looking straight at to it, you're looking straight at the man who is, and that's the Ricky posting, and I'll admit that that revealed the debut how it was done was so well done. Like like they were they didn't give you any vignettes or hints or any sort of thing. He literally shows up in the crowd, completely taking over the show, and making his claims that he is here, that he's their superstar of the future, as he said. Like, and the commentary kind of sold it well. They were asking Sean, and they were. I don't think they were like any words during that moment when Ricky came up to the performance center. Like, they made sure because they wanted. I think they wanted to sell the shock of the moment because it was an absolute shocking moment as it happened because really think he will come this soon, and but he did, and I thought it was great. I don't think it will go down in the upper echelon of WWE debuts that I have seen, but this was still a well done angle, well done debut, and yeah, you can tell he was ready made for it. He has the personality that you will want out of the WWE superstar wrestler. Like, he has that. He has what it takes to make it to make it fast in that company. And the fans and the fans will obviously take it well to him. I just miss seeing the dude on TV. Like, he did some good things, right? He did some good things at AEW. You can tell for some reason they didn't want to use it. It was obvious. It wasn't going to work out in the end, so it's good for Ricky to make a move finally and show people what he's really capable of. And yeah, and I thought it was well done. And I think like the next week they had a contract signing. He had some with Ethan Page, and they had some back and forth. And Ricky signed his name, and it said Ricky Saints. So during that, so the previous Wednesday debut, they didn't order a single name on the dude. They kept it as like death mule on that name. Probably because they were coming off of what the name's going to be, and I think it was kind of the thing is that people were missing. Why did they say Ricky starts by name? And I think one of the things that I thought of, it was probably more intentional to sell the shotgun, but also I don't I Ricky just got here, and I think they wanted to like get some insurances to the likeness of his name and stuff like that. And I think that and they wanted to make sure like they had that be when he got signed because the deal as it happened supposedly was done fast, and it was obvious because how the news came out of him leaving AEW, and then literally the next day he shows up on NXT. So yeah, and that led to fans speculate if they're going to keep the name. So um, the the next week, he shows up again and signs Seal Deliver as Ricky Saints. Now, what I think about the name, um, it's a pretty good name. Like, Ricky Stars will always be like hit home for us people, but I think we can pretty much get used to that name. If we got used to the name of Gunther after he got called Walter for so many years, if we got used to that, then we can pretty much get used to it. At first, it isn't really a drastic name change. They were calling himself other cookie cutter out of this galaxy name that it doesn't fit him. Then yeah, I will take issue. But this is ain't really that drastic. And he's from New Orleans, and if you know anything about New Orleans with the New Orleans Saints, then you probably know this is kind of fitted for him as he's literally from New Orleans. So, yeah. So, yeah, absolutely Ricky Star will always, like I said, will always hit us for a lot of us people as wrestling fans, but we'll be fine to the name. We will get used to this thing. And I think if he can get this nailed, and it seems like he's gonna, we will all be fine. I saw a lot of people online had discourse of it a little bit, but like I said, it ain't really a drastic name change completely. So yeah, so that's my thoughts on the name change. And I think him starting on NXT is the best choice because especially for now, because he ain't the main roster doesn't really have a spot for him, since a lot of the WrestleMania plans seems to be locked in for like now. So I don't think he would have been fit for either main roster, whether it be Raw or SmackDown. He wasn't going to be fit into that, in my opinion. So I think him starting NXT is the right choice because NXT needs a guy like him. Because when you look at some of the men on that roster, it's like, okay, you got Trick Williams, well, I may feel about Trick Williams, but you got Oba Family, Ian Page, and Javon Evans. And even with Trick, those kind of the highlights. But everyone else, you really won't miss a skipping on them. So having a guy like Ricky Saints on that roster could really add to that product a lot. So yeah. So definitely it's the best choice for him to be on NXT. And I think with enough momentum, if they continue to build his momentum, I think he can be fast tracked to the main roster by 6-9 months, it may be, but I think they will have to come up with a plan because, I mean, when you look at the recent releases, like some of the people that they cut recently, they need to make it clear when someone comes over there and say they need to have a plan and a well thought out plan in that. So, yeah. So hopefully he does good on NXT and does good on the main roster. Because he can be a star for them. Pretty much. Like I said, he has all the tools that to have what it takes to be a star in that company. So yeah, I thought his debut was well done. I hope all the best for Rick in this new adventure. So, and it's been a long time coming for him, for us fans as Rick. We pretty much knew this was going to be an inevitable thing. And yeah, so that's my whole thoughts on his debut. Like this video if you haven't. Subscribe. Tell me what you thought about, what you think about Ricky Saints in NXT and WWE now in the comment section below. And as always, I'm Jason Maenius, and I approve this message.